Man, some of us could be so extra and so critical of people we may not understand or agree all the way with. And so I'm starting this new series called What Can I Learn From? I think that's what it's going to be called. That's the working title right now. And it's going to be taking different people that I watch and enjoy some of their music, some of their moves, and break down what are some of the things that we can learn from them and apply to building our own craft and our own platform. And so the goal with this is to see different artists and see the right things they're doing instead of just criticizing the wrong things they're doing. And for the first one, I thought, man, what could be better than breaking down what we can learn from Cardi B? Stay tuned.
Indie Jones, back with a trendy flow. I'm still trying to find my voice in this here scenario. Here we go.
Hey yo, we're in full effect of day 6 Veda. So Cardi B, just watched her Breakfast Club interview. This is someone I've been following for a couple years now. I'm not like the biggest fan of all of her music, but I think she got some cool records. Obviously, I don't endorse all of her content, but I think what she's done has been amazing in the way they've built up her brand. So my opinion is Cardi B is the personification of the new wave artist, meaning the way artists are going to get broken moving forward isn't going to be in some behind the scenes incubator ran by management and producers and creatives and develop to a place where they're good, and then they're gonna go release music that's gonna be remarkable, and then the music is gonna get elevated when a major label steps in, and then they're gonna, like, I think that era is fading away fast. And I think what we've seen with Cardi B is someone that's natively used multiple platforms and multiple avenues to build and leverage a platform to do what she ultimately wanted to do, was music. I watched the Breakfast Club interview. I enjoy her interviews probably more than her music, but I think she makes cool music too. I think in her Breakfast Club interview, I've watched, I think, 3 different ones. The latest one just came out with the release of her new album called Invasion of Privacy. But I watched the earlier ones before she was really popping as an artist. Out the gate, there's a couple things you have to admire about Cardi. First of all, she's very honest and direct and transparent up to a fault, some would argue. Second of all, she's very likable, and I think oftentimes we overlook likability, meaning that she can come into a room, be herself, be funny, be witty, and make the room fall in love with her, make the interviewer fall in love with her. And you see this if you watch any of her interviews. She's just being herself, which there's something about her personality. There's an intangible thing about her personality where, because she's honest, she doesn't take herself too seriously, and she just has something about her that oftentimes we overlook as just a likability factor. Like, she's just fun, she's likable, she says little quirky things, she makes little weird noises. She's not the typical celebrity. She really seems like a girl from around the way that just started popping. Her history is very interesting. She's from New York. She started out stripping, and then she kind of got into the social media thing, Instagram, making funny videos from Instagram, commentary. That evolved into some reality TV, and then she started dropping mixtapes. And so when I said that she's not the traditional artist route, meaning that traditional artists usually come out of nowhere, they explode, they have their first debut project that's huge. Cardi B has had several mixtapes out. She's been around for 4 or 5 years. She's been a social media personality. She's been on reality TV. And this is what I mean by the new wave of how artists are gonna get on. We used to have artists and entertainers known for their music, and that's what made them famous. Now we have famous people that maybe secretly wanted to do music all along, but that are famous for something else. Maybe it's their social media tactics, maybe it's their personality, maybe it's whatever value they're adding to people. And comedy and escapism is a value, people value that. Whatever value they're adding to people, that grows, and then that gets leveraged to music. And so you're seeing that with a bunch of different artists that we'll cover here. So I think we have to acknowledge just the era that we're in is a changing era. Cardi B started popping, and so when a major label is coming along, and I've been having meetings with some of these major labels, and I'm kind of trying to learn what makes them tick, and the thing that makes major labels tick is just pure capitalism. Do you have the numbers? Do you have the infrastructure? Do you have the buzz to level up? And can they fan the flame for you? Cardi B had the numbers. She's out the gate, couple million Instagram followers before she had Bodak Yellow. She's already entertaining. There's already a audience and a tribe of people checking for her. Whether they're checking for music or not, really doesn't matter. She had the eyeballs to leverage into a music career. And when you have the attention and you have a tribe of people that understand your ethos or your value system. You know, with Cardi, she's likable, she's super ratchet, she's funny, she's very honest. Those are values that people are attaching themselves into. So when you have people's attentions, when you have a tribe of people that understand your values, and then you have a hit record, and then you have a musical moment, right? Creating moments once you have the infrastructure. See, a hit record isn't a hit record without an audience, without a platform, without people checking for it. It takes longer for the record to grow, but when you have the audience and you've been consistently dropping stuff like she has, she was consistent on social media, she was on Love and Hip Hop, people were familiar with who she was. She was on all these big platforms before people really knew her music. She had mixtapes out, but they weren't what they are now, right? And so Bodak Yellow takes off, and then she continues hacking social media. She continues hacking people's attention and getting people to pay attention to different things. The way they announced that she was pregnant with her fiance Offset on Saturday Night Live, they made that into a moment. So I think what's there to learn? One, don't overlook the importance of being likable. Two, what are your personal values and your ethos of what makes you you? For her, it's honesty. She's ratchet. She's from the hood. She's very funny. She says what's on her mind, right? Those are all things that make her her. And then natively leverage platforms, meaning when she was on Instagram and she was going heavy on Instagram, she was making comedy videos, she was being funny, stuff that could spread, stuff that could pop in the Explorer page. I probably calculated with that to some degree. And so here's a girl from the Bronx that started out stripping at 19 years old, and she evolved into someone that was a social media personality, was trying to kind of give game to people from almost like a ratchet standpoint, which is really interesting. Evolved that, got onto some reality TV, Love and Hip Hop, and started dropping mixtapes and just started doubling down and expanding her arsenal and her abilities. And really what she was doing, I think, is she was talent stacking. I don't think she was intentional about that, but Cardi B was talent stacking. She was taking her humor, her ability to make people laugh, her likability, she's a good-looking girl, all these different things, her personality, and she was talent stacking. And even in her approach to music, she's like, I'm not trying to be the queen of rap, I just trying to make music that I could have fun to. Very honest, very direct. So we shouldn't overlook all these different things that she's done right and figure out what are our own ways that we could apply using technology natively on Instagram. If you're gonna be on Instagram, don't post screenshots of stuff from your Facebook page. No, post a good photo or a video with the caption of whatever you were posting on Facebook. Just something like, that's just something really quick and simple off the top. Using these platforms natively, utilizing the way that we can get people's attention and building an audience for entertaining something and then leveraging over to something else like music. Perhaps that she in her Breakfast Club interview, she talks about how she used to be in talent shows in high school and she was a singer and she was winning all these contests. But I think she knew that she couldn't approach her goals in the same basic way that everybody else was approaching music. I gotta make a song, then I gotta get a record deal, then I gotta go do some shows, get some cosigns, put out a project, right? I think she maneuvered around a way that she knew was gonna work for her. To talent stack, to leverage attention in social media, and to ultimately become one of the biggest celebrities in music today. So there's a lot to learn there. I want to know what you guys think about it. I look at things holistically, so I don't just compartmentalize and say, well, oh, her music's kind of whatever. I don't look at it like that. Like, I look at it holistically. I look at all the different things that people are doing and what's working for them. So in the comment section below, I want to hear from you guys. What have you learned from Cardi B? What are some things you could chime in? What are some things she's doing right that you could pull from in building your own platforms, whether that's being a designer, an artist, a rapper, a producer? What can you pull from some of these things that we've seen her do to apply to your own platform building? Leave that in the comment section below. Smash that like button, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Thank you so much for watching this. Peace.
I am so incognito. Far away from him. Incognito. Came in one way. Incognito. Not leaving the same. I ain't going with the top down. Waiting for the countdown. All grace, no wishes. No loans, no interest. Feels good. Tony.
Running late here unannounced. Nothing worse than a game when I'm crowned. And I don't fit in to pretend that you blend like a front out of town. God stepped in and said, oh, the account. Now you don't know what to do with the pounds. Take a view of the house, make it true till it's ours. I'm producing amounts. It's a nuisance, the house.
I am so
ouch.